The International Space Station is the most unlikely home humanity has ever built. It is located neither on top of a mountain nor at the bottom of the ocean. It is 488 kilometers above our heads, the same distance between Milan and Rome, but pointed toward space. And while we look up at the sky, the ISS speeds along at 27,600 kilometers per hour. At that speed, it completes one full orbit of the Earth in just 90 minutes. That means seeing 16 sunrises and 16 sunsets every single day. Today, we will go inside this home suspended in the void to understand how engineers managed to create a place where people do not merely survive, they truly live.
If you're watching this video, our content is probably useful to you, yet many of you still aren't subscribed to the channel. Subscribing is the simplest way to support our work and not miss out on our next technical or instructional videos. It only takes one click, but it means a difference to us. Subscribe and become part of the community, because together we share industrial knowledge. Thank you.
At first glance, the ISS looks like an intricate collection of tubes, metallic modules, and solar panels. In reality, it is a complex organism as large as a football field and as heavy as 300 stacked cars. Its interior roughly corresponds to the living space of a large house, but it is distributed across 16 pressurized modules, each with a specific function: laboratories, crew quarters, corridors, control areas, and the famous observation cupola. Under normal conditions, it houses 6 astronauts, 6 people who share work, experiments, maintenance, and the responsibility of keeping an artificial habitat worth $150 billion alive. And it is even more surprising to think that this megastructure was built by countries that until just a few decades ago were rivals in the space race. Here, instead, their modules are literally connected side by side. The ISS was not assembled on the floor of a hangar. It was built directly in space, piece by piece, like a huge orbital puzzle. Each module left Earth aboard rockets or shuttles, was carried into the proper orbit, and then docked with millimetric precision. Imagine having to tighten fist-sized bolts while floating in mid-air, wearing rigid gloves, and with everything around you moving at 28,000 kilometers per hour. Astronauts had to align modules that, even if slightly misaligned, could have compromised the entire structure. It is a type of engineering that you truly learn only up there. Life on the ISS exists only because the station continuously provides what space cannot provide: air and water. Every astronaut breathes 18,000 liters of air per day, an enormous amount impossible to transport from Earth. That is why the ISS produces its own oxygen. A machine, about the size of a barrel, splits water into hydrogen and oxygen through electrolysis. On Earth, bubbles rise upward, but in space, there is no up. To separate gas and liquid, a centrifuge is needed. It is a perfect example of how, in a weightless environment, every familiar principle must be reinvented. And water cannot be wasted either. On the ISS, everything is recovered: water vapor from breathing, sweat, condensation, and even urine. Through a sophisticated series of filters and distillation processes, more than 90% of the total water can be recovered. Astronauts joke that the cycle goes from coffee to coffee, But in reality, what they drink is some of the purest water on the entire planet. Inside the station, life is surprising. There is neither floor nor a ceiling. You can read upside down, have dinner head down, or move by floating from one module to another. Every astronaut has a small personal cabin about the size of a phone booth. A sleeping bag fixed to the wall, a few photos from home, and some laptops. When you sleep, you close yourself inside and anchor yourself to the wall. Otherwise, you end up floating around the room. Even eating is a particular experience. Food cannot create crumbs or droplets. Everything must stay compact. Tortillas have almost completely replaced bread precisely to prevent crumbs from drifting into the ventilation system. And then there is training. Without gravity, muscles and bones weaken quickly. That is why every person on board trains for about 2 hours a day with special equipment that simulates weight through resistance and elastic bands. The rest of the time is devoted to science experiments and maintenance. The ISS is a scientific condominium that cannot afford interruptions. On the International Space Station, people do not simply live. Science is done every single day. Microgravity transforms the ISS into the most unusual laboratory ever built, a place where experiments impossible on Earth finally become feasible. Here, astronauts study how the human body reacts to the absence of weight. From bones that lose density to muscles that weaken, all the way to changes in vision and the cardiovascular system. These data are essential for preparing long-duration missions, such as a journey to Mars that could last more than 2 years. But research is not limited to humans. On the ISS, the behavior of fluids is observed in zero gravity, where there's neither up nor down. Droplets become perfect spheres. Flames burn in a completely different way. And heat does not spread as we are used to seeing on Earth. These studies help design more efficient engines, better cooling systems, and safer materials. Biology also finds new answers in space. Astronauts grow plants in microgravity to understand how they produce food far from Earth. Study bacteria and cells to observe how they mutate in extreme environments, and test new medicines, because in the absence of weight, protein crystals grow in a more orderly way, allowing more precise analyses. Finally, in orbit, the ISS observes our planet. Scientific instruments monitor the atmosphere, climate, oceans, and environmental changes, providing valuable data for understanding humanity's impact on Earth. Every experiment, whether small or large, has the same objective: to use the space station not only to explore space, but to improve life here on our planet, and prepare ourselves to live one day much further away from home. Everything on the ISS works thanks to the sun. Its solar panels, as large as a tennis court, can generate up to 120 kilowatts of power. But the problem is not producing energy, it is managing heat. When the station is illuminated by the sun, its surface can exceed 121 degrees. A few minutes later, when it enters the Earth's shadow, the temperature can drop below -150. It's like going from a blazing oven to an industrial freezer every 90 minutes. To survive, the ISS uses a system similar to a car radiator, but far more complex. Heat is collected by internal piping and transferred to large external radiators through liquid ammonia, which withstands extreme fluctuations better. It is a continuous thermal battle. and the ISS is not alone in space. Around the Earth orbit hundreds of thousands of fragments. Some are as large as a bolt, others as small as a grain of sand. But at the speed of 8 kilometers per second, even a grain can pierce a wall. That is why the station is protected by a system called the Whipple Shield, thin layers of metal and composite materials that destroy and absorb the energy of micrometeoroids. It is a simple and brilliant idea. When a piece of debris hits the first layer, it vaporizes into a cloud of particles, and the following layers stop it. The International Space Station is not just a laboratory. It is the testing ground for understanding how we will live one day far from Earth. Here we will learn how to produce air and water without resupply, how to keep the human body healthy in microgravity, and how to manage complex systems with small crews. These are essential skills for building lunar bases, stations around Mars, and perhaps one day actual cities in space. When we look at the sky and see the small light moving silently across it, let us remember that inside it, people live inhabiting a piece of artificial Earth, suspended in the void. If this journey through the secrets of the space station has fascinated you, leave a like and a comment. You can also share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We recommend visiting our website, jaescompany.com, to learn about our upcoming projects.